US passenger traffic fell drastically in 2025. Not because of a pandemic, not because of a financial crisis. It fell because passengers are done. Done with broken promises, hidden charges, and flights that vanish off the board without warning. And this year, the situation got significantly worse. Global airline profits are forecast to collapse by nearly 52%, from $45 billion last year to just $23 billion in 2026. Meanwhile, one of America's most recognized budget carriers is already dead. The airline industry is not in trouble, it is in freefall. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why passengers are walking away in record numbers, and why the worst of this collapse is still ahead of us. Before we continue, hit like and subscribe for more industry insider exposés that the mainstream media won't touch. Chapter 1. 17,000 jobs. Gone by morning. On May 2nd, 2026, Spirit Airlines ceased to exist. Not with a press conference, not with a structured transition. It cancelled every single flight, shut its customer service lines, and instructed passengers not to come to the airport at all. 17,000 workers lost their jobs in a single day. Millions of passengers were left holding tickets that were now worthless paper. At LaGuardia, a woman and her elderly mother arrived for a Mother's Day flight and found nothing. No gate agent, no rebooking desk, no airline. Another traveler had booked for a family funeral in Charlotte and received zero notification before showing up. Spirit was the first major US carrier in 25 years to collapse under financial pressure. The last time the industry lost a carrier this way was in the wreckage after September 11th. The same year, Mexico's Magna Cartas was grounded after regulators revoked its operating certificate, stranding thousands mid-trip. China's Joy Air filed for bankruptcy in April and cancelled all routes without warning. 3 airlines, 3 continents, 1 year. This is not turbulence. This is what a collapsing industry looks, sounds, and feels like from the inside. Chapter 1. Airlines robbed you in 1 week. In a single week in April 2026, every major US airline raised its checked baggage fees simultaneously. JetBlue moved first. United followed on April 3rd. Delta on April 8th. Southwest the next day. American had already moved in February. Alaska joined days later, 1 coordinated week. Passengers had no warning until they were at checkout, card in hand, already committed. A first checked bag now costs $45 on most carriers. A family of 4 on a round trip, checking 2 bags each, pays $720 in baggage fees alone. Southwest deserves its own sentence. For decades, 2 bags fly free was the entire reason millions of American families chose Southwest over everyone else. They killed that policy in 2025, then raised fees again in 2026. US airlines pulled in more than $7.4 billion in baggage fees in 2025, a 162% jump over 5 years. Analysts are clear. Once bag fees rise, they almost never come back down. There is a reason for that. Checked bag fees dodge the 7.5% excise tax that base airfares pay, so airlines pocket the full increase tax-free. The price you see when searching is a fiction. The real number appears at checkout. That is not an accident. That is the design. Chapter 3. 7,100 seats sold twice. Airlines sell more seats than they have. It is legal. It is deliberate. And when the math goes wrong, a passenger with a confirmed reservation loses their seat with no warning and no apology. Frontier bumped more passengers than any other US carrier in the most recent reporting period. American removed more than 7,100 passengers from confirmed flights in a single 6-month window. That is not a customer service failure. That is a revenue strategy with passengers as the collateral. The Delta story from late 2025 is the one that should have been front-page news. A passenger at Salt Lake City heard a $15,000 voluntary bump offer announced over the PA system. He verified the amount with staff. He accepted. He let his wife and infant fly on without him, gave up his seat and walked to the terminal. When he got there, gate agents told him the offer was $1,500. Then they told him the $15,000 figure never happened at all. Delta later acknowledged the higher amount had been shared unintentionally and still refused to honor it. Their compensation to a man who lost his travel day, separated from his infant, and was then gaslit by the airline that caused it, 20,000 sky miles, worth at current redemption rates less than $200. The passenger lost everything, the airline lost nothing. Chapter 4. 118,000 flights. Cancelled. American Airlines recorded the highest cancellation rate of any major US carrier in 2025. Its own February 2026 filing blamed a government shutdown for forced schedule reductions, as though the airline bore no responsibility for its own collapse. Across the 10 largest US carriers, on-time performance fell to its worst level since 2014. Nearly 1 in 4 flights was delayed, cancelled, or diverted. That means missed weddings, missed funerals, medical appointments that simply vanished. Airlines gutted their reserves to cut costs, leaving zero buffer when anything goes wrong. 1 sick pilot, 1 weather system. The whole schedule collapses. The damage is not confined to the US. Over 118,000 flights were cancelled across America in 2025 alone. In February 2026, Lufthansa staged a coordinated 24-hour strike, cancelling hundreds of flights across Germany. Air Canada's flight attendants walked out in August 2025 over unpaid groundwork, and the Canadian government had to invoke emergency legislation to force them back. In 2024, only 71% of Air Canada flights landed on time. 2 weeks ago, WestJet's strike cancelled 615 flights and destroyed travel plans for 250,000 passengers on a holiday weekend. Have you ever been stranded, bumped, or robbed blind by an airline? Drop the airline's name below so others know who to avoid. Chapter 5. Your seat shrank. Profits didn't. Economy seats have lost up to 5 inches since the 1990s. Spirit, Frontier, and Allegiant now squeeze passengers into 28 inches of pitch, tight enough that anyone over 5 feet 10 inches physically presses their knees into the seat in front. Then they charge you extra to breathe, charge a premium for the space that used to be standard. Airlines converted 5 inches of stolen legroom into a $1 billion upsell business. Passengers buy the ticket, then pay again for the right to sit without their knees in someone's back. The FAA has no binding minimum seat size. Congress has introduced bills. Airlines lobbied against every single one. Everyone failed. The passenger absorbs the back pain, the blood clots on long-haul routes, and a travel experience so physically degrading that a growing number of people are asking whether flying is worth the punishment at all. Chapter 6. 2.4 million bags lost. In 2025, the 10 largest US airlines mishandled 2.4 million checked bags, wheelchairs, and mobility scooters. Lost, damaged, delayed, destroyed. United performed worst among major carriers on baggage handling. Allegiant was close behind, mishandling 0.66 bags per 100 checked, 27% above an already poor industry average. These are not abstract numbers. People check medication, wedding dresses, irreplaceable professional equipment, a musician's instrument, a prosthetic limb, an athlete's gear for the competition they flew across the country to compete in. Airlines charge $45 to accept that bag, accept near zero liability for what happens to it, cap reimbursements at figures they make deliberately difficult to claim, and lose it 2.4 million times a year. When the bag ends up in a city the passenger never visited, the burden of tracking it, documenting the loss, and fighting for any recovery falls entirely on the passenger who already paid to hand it over. Chapter 7. They left. You paid. When a flight is cancelled and a passenger needs a hotel overnight, there is no federal guarantee of any assistance. In the United States, each airline sets its own policy on what it owes a stranded traveler. Frontier is the only major US carrier that has not committed to covering hotels for controllable overnight cancellations. The passenger paid, the passenger showed up. The airline failed, and Frontier's official position is not our problem. The human cost lands hardest in the stories. At Bengaluru Airport, during an Indigo operational meltdown, a pregnant woman was stranded more than 2,000 kilometers from home. A marathon runner missed his international race entirely. One passenger estimated losses of over 50,000 rupees on non-refundable destination bookings. Gone because of a last-minute cancellation, the airline had no legal obligation to compensate. Nearby hotels doubled their nightly rates within hours to cash in on the crowd of stranded travelers. Nobody coordinated help. Nobody was required to. Back in the US, American Airlines received 1,181 DOT complaints in May 2026 alone. 302 about flight problems, 288 about refunds, 149 about baggage. 1 month, one airline. Over 1,000 documented failures, each attached to a real passenger who paid real money and received nothing close to what they were promised. Chapter 8. Years of loyalty. Worthless. Delta spent decades building SkyMiles into a program frequent flyers actually trusted. In 2023, the airline raised the Diamond status threshold from $20,000 to $35,000 per year. The backlash forced a partial retreat, down to $28,000, still a 40% increase. Today, members report slashed upgrades and redemption costs that have climbed far beyond what miles are worth. British Airways, Iberia, and Qantas moved in the same direction in 2025. American Airlines restructured AAdvantage entirely around spending rather than flying. Airlines are not devaluing loyalty programs. They are dismantling them and replacing them with revenue extraction tools. The miles in your account are worth less than the coffee they refuse to serve you. Chapter 9. The worst is still coming. The financial structure holding this industry together is cracking at every joint. Jet fuel jumped from $2.50 to $4.88 per gallon after the Iran conflict disrupted the Strait of Hormuz, erasing roughly $18 billion from the industry's 2026 profit forecast. Airlines now earn $4.50 per passenger, half of last year. The IATA's own Director General said it won't even cover a coffee. Apple makes more profit selling an iPhone case than an airline makes flying a human being at 500 miles per hour. Across Europe, approximately 3,000 Pratt & Whitney engines require inspection or replacement. Wizz Air has kept 40 aircraft grounded continuously, with restrictions running to 2027. Swiss International grounded its entire A220-100 subfleet. ITA Airways is chasing €150 million in damages. Fewer aircraft means fewer flights, higher fares, and zero competition to bring them down. Middle Eastern carriers are forecast to collectively lose $4.3 billion in 2026 from airspace closures and collapsed demand. Fuel will not normalize quickly. Labor will keep demanding better terms. Maintenance backlogs from COVID are still being cleared. And passenger trust, once destroyed, does not return on its own, certainly not while the fees keep climbing and the seats keep shrinking. The airline industry had every opportunity to compete on reliability, service, and basic promises. Instead, it chose to shrink seats and charge for the space, oversell flights and deal with the wreckage later. Gut loyalty programs. Collect $7.4 billion in baggage fees while losing 2.4 million bags. Every one of those choices compounded into this moment. Planes are fuller than ever. Prices are higher than ever. Service is the worst in a decade. The only question is how many more passengers get burned before this finally breaks. And if you want to survive the skies while this industry burns, watch this next.